While the rail and stile setup block is very accurate, the complexity of this joint can mean making small adjustments to get it perfect. The rail and stile setup block is machined from 3/4 inch thick material and works good with wood the same thickness. However, you can use it with wood up to 7/8 inch thick by making small height adjustments to get the profile that you want. We're going to use a coping sled, so we put the setup block on the sled and adjust the router bit so the setup block just slides through the cutters. We want to set the fence so the faces are flush with the edge of the bearing that's in between the two cutters on this bit. It's easiest to use a straight edge and adjust the fence so the straight edge is flush on both sides of the fence and just touching the bearing. Okay, we have the router set to 18,000 RPM or less for this size bit. We've got the piece mounted in a coping sled that has a backer board built into it. That'll prevent split out when the bit exits the wood. I'm going to start the router up and just ease the piece through there. Let the bit do the cutting, don't force it. The cutter in our test piece looks fine, so now we'll move on to the stile cutter. I've installed the stile bit and adjusted it so with the setup block flat on the table, it'll just slide over the cutters. The stiles will be cut on a table. We don't need the coping sled for that. Now, just as we did with the rail cutter, we want to set the fence so that both faces are even with the bearing. We put the straight edge across there and just bump the fence back until it's in contact with both faces and the bearing at the same time. Lock the fence down and check it, and we're okay and we're ready to go. The stile bit cuts the inside edge on all of the pieces. It'll cut the groove and the profile all at once. Now, just like with the coping sled, we just ease the piece through the cutter, let the cutter do the work, and take our time. Now if we did everything right, the pieces should fit together and be nice and flush. And that's perfect. You'll always have a little bit of sanding at the seams, but not much at all. Also look at how the profiles match up. Should be nice and flush. Might have to sand one of the pieces a little bit to fit them, but you get a nice clean corner. With the samples assembled, you can also check to make sure that the groove matches at the corners. When making bit height changes to perfect the joint fit, pay special attention to this reveal and the back piece. We want to maintain both of those features when we adjust the bit height.